Okay, 1, 2, 3. Are we live? Are we live? Okay, let's do it. Welcome to 123 AB News, where the news is real and we're on the pulse. I'm your host, K. That's the wrong show. Can we do that again? Can we take another take? So a couple of days ago, I was watching a video about Bayern Munich lifting the Bundesliga trophy. And while the video is playing, I'm looking at all the pictures, and there's one person that seems to be in almost none of them, especially the group photos. Until I zoomed into one picture, and I saw a singular body part of Mr. Nonchalant himself, Michael Olise. We all like Michael Olise. I like Michael Olise. But sometimes I think all his nonchalant attitude is doing a bit too much. I think he's doing a bit too much. It's almost like he's trying so hard and getting out of his body to show that he does not care. So I went ahead and did some soul searching, which is when I stumbled on the definition of nonchalant, which according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary is having an air of easy unconcern or indifference, also known as being cool, composed, collected, unruffled, imperturbable, and nonchalant, which is literally the word. But any which way, going then to the Urban Dictionary, because I felt like Merriam-Webster was gonna give me the literal answer. I went to the Urban Dictionary and it basically told me that nonchalant means not giving a, seeming indifferent or uninterested, often associated with an unnatural calm and relaxed nature in an otherwise tense situation. If you watch anime, Saitama from One Punch Man is the epitome of nonchalant personality when he's shown with his animated faces. He just ended his relationship of 3 years and yet he's so nonchalant about it. Nonchalant, not giving a about you, lame. Examples or other examples of nonchalant people obviously is Michael Olise. Like I said, our nonchalant king, Mr. Nonchalant himself, who consistently goes out of his way to show that he either does not care or is completely unbothered by everything happening around him. Except for when he was playing against Paris Saint-Germain, because they put him in the back pocket. Which is insane. I'm just saying, Michael Olise, he's great, but damn, they played you. Our OG nonchalant king, Derrick Rose, or young Derrick Rose, or high-flying Derrick Rose, or Chicago's savior Derrick Rose. 08 Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose in himself was so cool, calm, and collected that he would hit a game winner and a buzzer beater and not break a sweat. He wouldn't even look at the crowd. He'd simply straight face everybody's reaction. There's literally a meme of everybody celebrating and holding him up and he's straight facing the camera. Derrick Rose is the original meme of I don't got any time for this. Alongside of him in the same corner, well, in the basketball world, it's Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental, or the Big Fundamental as he was called boring. It was boring basketball when it came to Tim Duncan. And not because he played a very simplistic game, which, by the way, worked. Tim Duncan is great for a reason, but also because he didn't talk smack, he didn't showboat, he didn't do anything to get anybody riled up. He didn't do anything to the crowd. Tim Duncan has been known to be one of the worst players to play against because he doesn't say anything. He'll hit a shot over you and simply just move on. He doesn't say, too small, or, this, or nothing. He just moves on. He had this very strange, calm demeanor about him, which is the exact opposite of KG, who was a firing hot mess and also told him Happy Mother's Day, knowing his mother died. KG, I am both a Celtics fan and a Timberwolves fan. I really enjoyed your services, but that was messed up, man. Almost as messed up as the Carmelo Anthony, your wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios comment. Why am I apologizing to KG? KG's never gonna see this. Anyway, in other domains, like the previous example mentioned, Saitama, but I'm gonna go in a completely different direction and say Levi Ackerman, which, as we all know, his best scenes, and probably because they were the most animated scenes, his best scenes is when he's showing emotion. Especially when he's enraged, when he's lost his cool, when he's scared, when he's anxious. Levi Ackerman's best scenes is when he suddenly turns it all the way up to 10 and is either on demon mode or untouchable. And that is completely in juxtaposition. Yes, I use juxtaposition. We use big words out here. It's in complete juxtaposition to his normal, calm temperament. Psyche K, on the other hand, shows no outward emotion. He shows outwardly that he doesn't care. In his head, he's thinking about a lot of things. He's very anxious in his own head. He thinks a lot about thinking a lot in his own head. And to be honest, Psyche K is probably the biggest example of what these people who think that they nonchalant or portray themselves to be nonchalant are like in their heads. They're overthinking everything. In other forms of media, we have Central C, who literally walked into an Adidas store, looked at a couple of sneakers that were highly priced, said this is overpriced garbage, looked the store manager in the eyes and said, how dare you sell this to people, and then said whoever buys this is a knobhead. Also, he had that entire thing with Sabrina Carpenter where my man was literally playing games. Like, he was literally playing games sitting next to Sabrina Carpenter, not paying her any mind and not caring at all. I also think this is a bit of a facade, and he does care about a lot of things. Then, for all of you terminally online people, everybody who was waiting for this part, probably because he's in the thumbnail, Duke Dennis from AMP, the originator of the peanut shake, the popularizer of the hand rub, the man who went on the generational run for being known for having unspoken riz, the literal most nonchalant way to attract women. Now, I also went to go check what's the definition of performative. Performative, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary at merriam-webster.com, is relating to or marked by public, often artistic performance. It also means made or done for show, as to bolster one's own image or make positive impression on others. Determined and reinforced by repeated performance of socially prescribed acts and behaviors rather than by biological factors, i.e. you're putting on a show for everybody else that's outside of your body. On Urban Dictionary, because I thought this would be funny, on Urban Dictionary they say performative, a word for a person who puts on a facade and pretends he enjoys drinking matcha, listening to Laufe and be a doobie through his wired headphones, eating sushi, and doing any other feminine acts for female attention / validation. Someone, typically a male, who usually drinks matcha and listens to Clairo or any other trendy female singer as a type of performance to attract females. Dawn, since when do you drink matcha? Peter, I've been drinking matcha. Dan, you're so performative. Performative, when a man intentionally looks gay or fruity without actually being gay, usually done to attract women. I'm gonna dress performative to impress all the girls. John, performative. Mind you, this is not the views of my own, this is the views of people on Urban Dictionary. Performative, a male named Anthony. Wow. I have no issues with anybody named Anthony. Anybody named Anthony out there that heard this audio, I do not apologize. You probably are performative. Anyway, performative bisexuality, carrying out homosexual acts in front of an audience with the sole intention of attracting a heterosexual partner. I know Rosie kissed Molly last night, but it's only performative bisexuality because Ben was watching. That was in 2020. This person was ahead of their time. Any which way, examples of performative people, performative men, performative couples, as in the type of couples that literally walk around and vlog every single thing that they do, posting every single second of their lives on the internet for either likes, validation, or follows. Gender reveal parties that end up just being entire masquerades and complete wastes of money when you could have just cut a cake and looked at the blue or pink frosting. Proms and dances. Why are we spending an arm and a leg? Literally, quite literally. I may go on an entire side tangent. Why are we quite literally spending an arm and a leg for a dress for one night? Why are we literally spending an arm and a leg for a car that you could never afford just to put your kid in for one night to impress a whole bunch of teenagers? Why are we doing these things? Why are we spending so much money? There are people out there literally taking out loans for one night. This one night in particular can easily end up being more expensive than a car, more expensive than some apartments, more expensive than a wedding day, more expensive than the degree that this kid is gonna go study afterwards. These nights are actually ridiculous. Another example of something that's performative is influencer birthday parties and events that were hosted by influencers with the complete goal of showing off either their houses, wealth, or connections. TV shows, and I'm looking at you, Euphoria. This entire season has been absolute garbage. Everything is so weird. It used to be a show about teenagers, but then again, even then it was a little bit performative, but it's even worse now. The last one, and I'll be honest, I'm guilty of this. Being a contrarian or trying to be different, i.e. the people that say I prefer winter over summer just so that they can sound different. Nobody likes winter. You don't have to lie to yourself. You can just say summer sucks, winter sucks, and I don't like either. But to say you prefer winter, you're actually insane. Side tangent, not everything is performative or LARPing. This new thing to call everything LARPing, I mean, a person literally can't even live their lives without it being called LARPing. This is insane. I know it sounds like I'm literally being a contrarian to what I just said, which would make me performative because I just said being contrarian is performative. But I mean, guys, let's be so for real. Not everything is LARPing. Trying, for one, is not performative. I hated the random hate that Karl Anthony Towns was getting when he was going through his quote-unquote try hard arc, and he was getting hate for literally just trying. He was trying to win basketball games, and people were like, look at this try hard. Why you gotta try hard? Man, damned if you do, damned if you don't. This is actually insane. Imagine being called a try hard because you're actually trying to win. But anyway, trying is not performative. Caring is not performative. If you have passion, if you have aggression, if you have vision, if you have those things, use those things. Caring is not performative. Now, back to the point of the video. Being nonchalant is performative. Nonchalant people trying so hard to be nonchalant, it's performative. The obsession with looking effortless is weird. The complete obsession with effortlessness is so weird. It's so jarring that it's performative. It has to be. It's the only answer. It makes no sense for you to be doing all of these things to yourself. You're trying so hard to come across as though nothing bothers you that it's quite clear everything is bothering you. Any which way, normal people feel emotions, and it's fine to feel emotions. It's fine to be alive, and it's fine to be a human being. My goodness, you were born one. Unless you weren't. Are you an alien? I don't know. And it would be really weird if aliens were watching this. What if I'm talking to a dog right now? If you're not a human being, you were born to be the thing that you were supposed to be. Whatever that is. Maybe some of you actually identify as like animals or something. Anyway, being nonchalant is performative. I think I've ranted long enough, so go outside, talk to people, touch some grass, drink some water. I said that in the wrong order. Being nonchalant is being performative because actually trying your hard to seem like everything doesn't bother you is putting on a show for everyone else. That's been me. I'm done ranting. Buenos dias. I genuinely think to a large degree he cares about a lot of things that goes around. To a large degree, I genuinely thinks